Hi, I am Sanjeevani Tope. In the last chapter, we have seen the need for value education and how to live in harmony with ourselves and with others through self-exploration. Now in this chapter, let us see more on self-exploration. Self-exploration as the process for value education. So, what is the process? Can we think of it? The process is very simple. We can understand what is valuable to us, but can we investigate with ourselves? And then how can we do it ourselves? Since we understand all the emotions like peace, love, affection, hate, anger, we can ask some questions to ourselves that am I happy or unhappy? Am I successful or not? We get all these answers when we judge ourselves from within. We play different roles when we live in the family, when we live with friends, when we breathe air, when we drink water, when we live under the trees, the whole nature around us. We need to understand our relationship with all of them. And to understand what is valuable to us, for that we have to study, observe and explore ourselves, everything around us. Normally, we observe and judge others from outside. We have a habit of judging others because we see their images and we interpret them, and that is how we conclude. But similarly, can we judge ourselves? For example, when we get angry, we can see the anger from inside if we try. If we use our eyes, we can easily understand ourselves, and then we decided not to get angry because we know that anger is not good for us. But let us see in detail what is self-exploration and what is the purpose. Well, the simple process for a specific purpose. It is the process of dialogue between what we are and what we really want to be. Please have a dialogue between what we are and what we want to be. If we have the answer yes, then we are well aware of what we are and what we want to be. But if the answer is no, that means there is a conflict inside. When we do a careful self-exploration and a dialogue with ourselves, we realize that contradictions are emerging because of our assumptions and belief system which are contrary to our natural acceptance. It results into we want something, we think something else, we say something else, and we do something else. This dichotomy or contrast between our thought and actions, behavior and interactions with others leads to unhappiness. And irrespective of the place where we live, in a good school, in an institute of repute, having a good job, having lot of money, etc., still we have discomfort all the time and we are unhappy. On the top of it, we don't initiate any actions to correct this. When we realize that it is the primary issue, we need to address and resolve it. A simple exercise we can have it. As an individual, we need to have a clarity. That is what we want. But we are all the time confused. What we are today, that we are confused on many issues. At a family level, we play different roles and we need to do the justice for all these roles. Instead of that, what we are today, we dominate, and therefore we see number of cases of divorce. At a society level, the goal of the society should be peace, but we see all the time wars. At a nature level, we need to live in coexistence with the nature, but we try to become the master over the nature and we exploit the nature. And therefore, we are not in a position to understand what we want to be. But if we do the self exploration and have a dialogue with ourselves, we can really understand at every level and we really evolve. So, it is a process of self evolution through self investigation. Evolution is a slow process, and it is important that evolution must begin with us, that too also through dialogue. Once this dialogue is established with ourselves, we evolve, we become comfortable, and this is what is our self improvement. It is a process of knowing oneself, and through that knowing the entire existence. In the process of self exploration and evolution, we slowly understand ourselves, our innate needs, our assumptions, our beliefs, and our preconditions. Since we know ourselves better, the ability to understand others also improves. In other words, we know ourselves correctly, we are able to relate ourselves correctly and to the things around us. We can understand the people we live with, the family we are born in, the people in the society we interact with, in fact, all the entities in the existence. Therefore, it is important to know ourselves better. When we are sure about ourselves, we can know about other things properly. This develops relationship with ourselves and with others. It is a process of recognizing one's relationship with every unit in existence and fulfilling. Having known ourselves, we understand our relationship with the surroundings, which includes other human beings, plants, animals, and the nature. We need to live in harmony with all this. We live with whom? We live with our parents, with our grandparents, with our brothers, sisters. In the society, we live with our teachers, our friends, colleagues, boss. We interact with all of them. With various people we interact, and therefore, we need to have a clear understanding of our roles. A right understanding of our relationship will definitely minimize the issues, but lack of understanding leads to many issues. Issues may arise due to lack of understanding of others based on certain assumptions which may not be really true. For example, we assume that mistrust, hate, anger are very natural to us, but they are not acceptable to human beings and they are not natural. In fact, trust, love are basic in any relationship and they are naturally acceptable to one and all. So, correct understanding our relationship with the surroundings will minimize the issues. We become at ease and are able to orient ourselves correctly, and our relationship becomes mutually fulfilling. Similarly, we want to be in harmony with nature, and the nature itself is in harmony. Our interactions leads to mutual prosperity. It is also a process of knowing human conduct, human character, and living accordingly. Frequent changes in our own behavior leads to instability within, and we are not comfortable with ourselves. The true nature of human beings is to attain stability and certainty. Do we all want a definite character or indefinite character? Naturally, the answer is that definite character, definite conduct, though we possess the converse. When our mood rule over us, when we do not rule over our mood, we can't be sure of our mood today evening or tomorrow morning or the next moment. So, this mindset, when we are not sure about ourselves, we are not comfortable with ourselves. Are we comfortable with this state of affairs? Or do we want definiteness in our character? Let's explore. Then how can we ensure a definite positive character? Thus, the process of self-exploration will empower us to identify the definiteness of human conduct and to live the life accordingly. It is a process of being in harmony in oneself and in harmony with entire existence. Through self-exploration, we accept naturally and establish a dialogue with ourselves. This will help us to be in harmony with ourselves. Through the same process, we will be able to explore the harmony in the entire existence, and slowly we realize that there is innate harmony in the nature. Would you desire to be in such a state of mind? Yeah, definitely, we all. It is also a process of identifying our innateness and moving towards such organization, that is Swatantrata and self-expression. When we identify our innateness, what we really want to be, and establish a dialogue with, enables us to become self-organized, that is, we attain harmony with ourselves. This is Swatantrata. When we start living with this harmony, it starts expressing itself through our harmonious behavior and work, and it naturally extends to our participation with the surroundings. This is working towards Swaraj. But if we are living with preconditionings, wherein we have assumed certain things, have accumulated desires without having first evaluated them, then it means we are Paratantra. If we ask ourselves this question, whether we are a Swatantra or Paratantra, what's the answer? Think about it. As long as there is a difference between what we are and what we really want to be, we are not Swatantra or free, because all the time we will have a conflict within ourselves. So, through this process of self-exploration, we begin to identify our innateness, that is what we really want to be, thus living accordingly empower us. Being aware of our natural acceptance, what we really want to be is Swattva. Living in accordance with our natural acceptance, living in harmony with ourselves is Swatantrata. Living in harmony with entire existence is Swaraj. So, just have a quick recap. In the first module, we have seen that self-exploration is the process, and what is the purpose of doing self-exploration? The purpose is that we have a dialogue with ourselves, we evolve, we improve, and we develop a relationship with ourselves, we live in harmony, and we become Swatantra. Through self-exploration, we visualize certain fundamental questions. What is my basic aspiration, and what is the process to fulfill this basic aspiration? These are very important questions, because everything we do out of some or the other desire, and we try to fulfill that desire. That is why any human being would like to know and work towards its fulfillment. In the process, we are going to observe and explore ourselves, our lives, what we do, why we do, and how we do. what we really want and want to know how to fulfill what we want. So, let us explore ourselves what is valuable to us. After discussing the need and content of the self exploration, let us see what kind of steps we need to undertake to achieve this. The process of self exploration involves two stages. Firstly, verifying on the basis of natural acceptance, and secondly, to prove with our own experience by living accordingly. We have to prove it to ourselves. While taking these steps of doing self exploration, we have to be very careful and have to keep in mind few things. First of all, whatever may be the proposal, let us not assume it. We have already assumed so many things in our life. So, let us not assume it as true or false. We need to verify it on our own right. At the same time, while verifying, let us not just accept or reject it on the basis of scriptures, on the basis of instruments, or on the basis of the experiences of others. Rather, we need to verify these proposals on the basis of natural acceptance. When the proposal is verified on both the bases, that is accepting naturally and confirming it with our experience, it leads to realization and understanding. Understanding is assuring, satisfying and universality with respect to time, space and individual. Suppose we ask this question to ourselves, do you want to be happy? The very quick answer will come from within, yes. This is called as natural acceptance. Thus, the first part of the self exploration will be passed through our natural acceptance. Secondly, live according to the proposal to validate it experientially. So, let us prove it accordingly. To verify the proposals, we need to live accordingly in our interactions with the world around. This involves two things, behavior and work. In our behavior with other human beings, if it leads to mutual fulfillment, we are right. In our work with the rest of the nature, if it leads to mutual prosperity, we are right. In short, the whole process of self exploration is such that there is a proposal, just don't assume it to be true or false, verify it on our own right, not on the basis of scriptures, instruments or experiences of others. Let us have a self verification, have a natural acceptance, and then let us behave accordingly, work accordingly. Definitely the proposal will be accepted. Let us see more about natural acceptance. Natural acceptance does not change with the time, place and people. It does not depend on our beliefs or past preconditionings. The natural acceptance is constantly with us. It is the same for all of us. It is a part and parcel of every human being. It is humanness. Natural acceptance is there in all of us. It is within us all the time, and we can refer it to it, access it to know what is right for us. We only have to start referring to it. Each proposal needs to be evaluated on the basis of our natural acceptance. We have to start verifying our assumptions, beliefs on the basis of our natural acceptance and experiment it accordingly. Then whatever may be the situation, we have to prove it to ourselves that we are right, but only when we accept it naturally and prove it, experiment it. Today we do not evaluate or assess our beliefs or assumptions, and we treat them as our personal domain. These beliefs and assumptions, we usually adhere to them without really verifying them. And when these come in conflict while verifying, we search our justifications and we put all sincere efforts to defend them. In the process, we cheat ourselves, we cheat others too. But are they not taxing for us? Are they not costing us our own happiness, stability, and cordiality in our relations? Definitely, these are costing us and our happiness. Then what's the way out? What do we need to do? To become more authentic, we need to learn to live on the basis of natural acceptance and not on the basis of assumptions. We have to verify for ourselves in our own right to become confident. Ultimately, we are the judge of ourselves. We know what is right for us and we have to verify and understand it. We have seen that the process of self-exploration involves two steps: verification of the proposals on the basis of natural acceptance and for confirmation by living accordingly. The process of verification of the proposal on the basis of natural acceptance and experimenting it in our living ultimately results in realization and understanding. Knowing something true for sure within ourselves, we really can appear for a test and we get the answers. That we assure ourselves that I am assured of the answers or understanding in myself. I am satisfied that the answers are fulfilling for me. I know or realize that the answers I have got are the same for everyone. They are invariant with respect to time, space, and individual. These answers are the same at all times, past, present, and future. These answers are the same at all places or locations. The answers are the same for every human being. If the answers do not fulfill the criteria of being assuring, satisfying, and universality, it means the answer is most likely coming from our past beliefs and preconditioning and not from our natural acceptance. Hence, we need to re-verify again and again all these answers. So, what's the conclusion? This process of repeated self-verification of the proposals on the basis of natural acceptance and confirming it by experimenting it and also testing the answers for assurance, satisfaction, and universality ultimately results in what is called realization and understanding. Then we have this realization and understanding, it remains intact, that is, it stays with us at all times and is not moved or disturbed by any external circumstances. In fact, it also starts expressing itself in a most natural manner and starts impacting the environment, and since it is true, it is readily acceptable to others too. We have seen that it is a process of dialogue between what we are and what we really want to be. So, let us have a dialogue. It is a process of self-evolution through self-investigation and we evolve. It is a process of knowing oneself and through that knowing the entire existence. It is a process of recognizing one's relationship with every unit in existence and fulfilling it, recognizing one's relationship. It is also a process of knowing human conduct, human character, and living accordingly. It is a process of being in harmony in oneself and in harmony with entire existence. So, it is a process of identifying our innateness and moving towards such organization, that is Swatantrata and self-expression. When we accept any proposal on the basis of natural acceptance and verify it by confirming it, we realize and we understand our roles. That's how there will be mutual happiness. So, proposal comes, we accept it naturally, we bring mutual happiness, we realize it, we appear for the test, we give the assurance to ourselves, we satisfy ourselves, and we think that we are bringing harmony everywhere. That is what is the purpose of self-exploration. Thank you.